Alright, it's time for another interrupting middle of the week video, and this one's interrupting because, well, something else arrived in the Casa del Fats. Also, I'm going to stop this one right now before we get too far into this. Did you guys know that my videos are getting dubbed in other languages? I just found this out today. I've been posting to YouTube for, well, a long time now. I've never noticed this whole dubbing thing. And the last couple of videos I've been putting up, there's this little thing at the bottom that talks about, auto dubbing. And I'm like, I don't know, whatever, click on through. I just found out I can watch my videos in Japanese today. I was watching me in Japanese, and I gotta tell you, I am one sexy bugger in Japanese. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So check that out. If you're speaking Hindi, Polish, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, the aforementioned language, and I think there's a couple others on there, just watch the dub instead of trying to translate my bibblety babbling. It might be easier for you guys. Anywho, put that aside. We need to talk about something that came into the house because this arrived. This is an eBay purchase. Now, I don't normally eBay. And the reason why I don't normally eBay is, well, quite frankly put, I don't trust anybody. I have real trust issues. And because of that, when I see descriptions on eBay and I see pictures, and being a comic guy, primarily, I go, is that really fine? Is it very fine? Is it good? Is it good? And invariably I just steer clear. This one was beaucoup cheap though. Like, beaucoup cheap. So I says to myself, and I know that's not proper French by the way, and I says to myself, take the chance, spend the $4, get it into the Casa del Fats, and it's a book you've been looking for at cons for ages. So yeah, just, if you don't like it, be environmentally responsible and just recycle it. Yeah, we'll go that route. We're not going to shoot it with a bow and arrow. I got rid of the bow and arrow years ago. We're not going to do that. That's unnecessary violence. And just set that aside. So today what we're going to do, we're going to turn the camera around. We're going to sit down at the desk. I'm going to open this one up and I'm going to show you specifically what it is. And to you angry mob and heavy metal fans out there, you're going to know this one the minute you see it. Then what we're going to do is turn the camera around, look down at it on the desk, and we're going to look at the actual grading notes that come with the Overstreet guide of what is this grade and see if this matches. Is it better? Is it worse? Sometimes you can get a win on Feebay. I have no idea. We'll find out when we pop it open. So let's turn the camera around and get into this one. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, all right, we got the thing. Now, it's interesting. We're going to tear this open now. Now, this is just a Uline bubble mail. Now, I believe this was, actually, I know this was shipped within Canada because it was shipped expedited Canada Post. So you can only ship that within Canada. Otherwise, it would be for something else. So we know that. Another thing we know is, and I'm feeling this, I'm guessing this is cardboard cut and taped on either side of the particular book in question here. But let's not waste any further time. Let's get into this. Now, Garage of Knives. I'm going to go Swiss Army on this one. Yeah. This is a Damascus blade, if I remember correctly. So, it's fitting. We got to make sure that when we're opening books that we use an appropriate knife. Because, otherwise, you could curse the knife, or the book. There are book demons all over the place. And you never want to take a chance. Yep, so there we go. I was right. It is just two pieces of cardboard. Oh, let's just get that out of here. It's got a thank you for your purchase sticker right. Well, that is very nice. Thank you very much. You are most welcome. Now, I've got some shipping information here. We're just going to cut this off because they've taped it right onto the thing. Now, what's funny about this is within that, they have attached the original eBay listing number for it. So if I ever want to go back and do a double check, I can. Now, I've already done a double check. I already know what this is described as, and I've already captured the image of said thing. So there we go. It is cardboard on either side. Once again, thank you for... I like that. That's classy. That is just quintessentially Canadian. Well done. All right. Beauty job, Clark. All right, let's get this thing open now. So we got cardboard on either side. It actually feels more like strongboard than cardboard. But all right, we're going to get there. We're going to just bear with us. These are old fingers. They only go so fast. Yeah, I was really surprised to find that Japanese thing today. That was pretty cool. I was like, really? I'm getting dubbed? Does that make me legit now? I keep asking the question, when do I officially become legit? I think dubbing might be the threshold right there that does it. Why is this? Oh, I see. I see what's happened here. So it's masking tape on masking tape. So we're going to be very careful. We don't want to crease anything. Now, it is in a bag and board. That's very nice. That's very nice. I would expect it to be in a bag and board, quite frankly. But you know, I've been surprised with worse. So again, reason why I don't trust people. It's just a thing. So bottom board, that's also gone. Now, I'm going to look at this right now. Now, I'm staring at this in a strange way because my gut feel, and we're going to do the quanta. We're going to look at this and we're going to compare this to what the actual Overstreet guide says. I'm just taking off all the little pieces of tape that are stuck in it because I really want a good view of this. And I got to tell you, I think this is better than the grade that they said. All right, hold on. Let's just get all this tape out of the way, and then we will share with you guys specifically what it is that, yeah, I don't know. So what we're looking at is this, and I'll put the good image up for it. We know that if I just hold this thing up to the camera, it's way too glary. So you fans of it, hold on for a second. Hold on. It's old man. It's the thread. I gotta get some coffee. Hold on. Oh, that's the stuff. You heavy metal fans know what this book is. Now, it's interesting because this is like the old, what's the first appearance of Wolverine argument. Is it Hulk 181 or Hulk 180? Now, I can tell you, I own both Hulk 180 and 181. And I have read both Hulk 180 and 180 in the original format. And I can tell you, Wolverine clearly appears in Hulk 180. But for some reason, the first appearance is Hulk 181. Now, amongst heavy metal lore, the question comes up all the time. It's like, well, is the first appearance of Tarna, am I saying it correctly? Tarna? I never say things correctly on the channel. Down below if I get it wrong. All right? Is it this issue, the one that just arrived in the house? Or is it the next issue wherein you have the beautiful cover art image of that same character, Tarna, here? I actually don't know. This is the first of the two that I've been looking for because I plan on getting both. This one I now have. Now I'm going to count this as a cameo appearance. When I look online in certain places, I see it referred to as a cameo appearance. And when we actually take the book out of the bag and start looking at some of the factors of the quality of this book and what grade it may be in, we'll flip forward so you guys can see what we're talking about here as to whether you consider this a cameo or a first appearance. I think it's more of a cameo. I know that might make me unpopular with some people, but it's okay. It's okay. We're allowed to have differences of opinion. So that's the book that we got in here. Now, we've done the opening part. Let's do the part where we actually look at it and try to subjectively say, well, is this the grade that we were told it was? Let's turn the camera around for that, shall we? All right, the camera's turned around. Let's get, wow, look at the glare. Wow, before that thing autocorrects? That is wicked awesome. Hold on, let's do that again. And then, ooh, well, that's creepy. All right, all right, not the point of the video. All right, this is the book we're going into today. Now, I have already used the appropriate knife to cut the tape. And the reason why I did that is because, once again, as I mentioned earlier, book demons, they're a real thing. Just like day bats, you don't want to mess with these things. And you definitely don't want tape pulls. Tape pulls are bad things. So just cut the tape. Just cut it. Get it back out of there. You don't want that anywhere near your book. So this is the one that I was talking about. Right now, I'm going to put an image up now as an overlay to our discussion here. And this is the order confirmation. And what it gives you is the title that I actually purchased. We're going to put it in now. So what you're seeing here is clearly a description. It says it's Heavy Metal Magazine number 53. It mentions the first appearance of Tarna. Now, again, I'm going to argue it's a bit of a misnomer. It's a cameo within the actual article. Set that aside. And then, in addition, it's very clear. It says FN. Now, for you comic fans out there, FN is fine. It's a comic grade. Now, let's come back to the book now. Okay, so what you're looking at here is FN, fine, as it relates to how you grade a book as a comic. So here is the guide that I will be using, because I keep this handy, because I use it fairly frequently. The Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics. I don't use this for selling. I'm not a reseller by any means. This is for my own collection. And in here, you clearly have a description of FN, or fine. See, FN, it's right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside, and we will come back and we'll look at this as it relates to this particular book, this one. Now, I also mentioned at this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this and show you guys what the cameo appearance is that's in here. Because it's not a story. It's Tarna, I always say the names wrong. I'm sure I'm saying this incorrectly, but it doesn't matter. Is only appearing in the 16 color pages on the making of the Heavy Metal movie, because they were making the Heavy Metal movie at this time. This is back in 1981. Think about this. This book right now is 44 years old. That's pretty darn impressive for this condition. Moot point. So, table of contents right over here, and you will see the making of Heavy Metal is right here on page 41. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip over that, but we're going to be very selective in this because we are a children-friendly channel, and we want to make sure that we're not showing, because some of you may or may not know this, the Heavy Metal movie did have some raciness to it built within it. So we're going to be really, really careful here, and I'm going to show you guys the image that is the one, and then we're going to stop right there because there's a couple more images in the pages that follow that explain more about Tarna. But again, I learned to recognize this because I believe there is, yes, see, I've seen an image of this. So we turn the page, we get straight to here. This is where you see the legend of Tarna, okay? That's her right there. On the following page, and pages in fact, there's more imagery of how this character was developed from a sketch to a fleshed out character like you see here. There's also, I believe, an image, and again, I'm not going to show you the page because I've seen the images online, and I believe there's something racy on that, where they actually used a live model to get the body shape and to get the whole positioning of where, well, a normal body would stand taking those actions. Anyways, so that's the cameo appearance for you Heavy Metal friends out there. If there's more in here that I'm missing, let me know, but I believe this is it, which is why I would count this as a cameo. Now, let's get back to the hard question here. Is this fine? Does it actually match the definition of fine? Well, let's take a look at it. So let's bring the old book on over here, and we'll just put it on here gently, daintily. It's a Bugs Bunny reference in case you're curious. All right, I love the general description though. An above average copy that shows minor wear but is still relatively flat and clean with no significant creasing or other serious defects. Eye appeal is somewhat reduced because of slight surface wear and the accumulation of small defects, especially in the spine and edges. A fine condition book appears to have been read a few times and has been handled with moderate care. Now, it does mention over here that you're allowed to have some discoloration of staples. You're allowed to have some roll. You're allowed to have up to 1/4 inch of a split or a spine split, and that's where the cover has split. Rust migration can come off of the staples. Minor discoloration or dirt because of it, but it does talk to paper is brown or tan and fairly supple with no signs of brittleness. Amateur repairs, none allowed. Missing pieces, none allowed. Readability, preserved. Effectively, it tells you. And the other thing that it does say right down here, I do like that Overstreet has given you, has historically been one of the most difficult grades to identify. It is the highest grade which allows a wide range of defects to occur. Now, we just flipped through and saw the interior of this one. I didn't see any brown or tan, number one. So that's not there. Now, very clearly here is a thumb crease. So let me see if I can get some sun on that. There you go. You can see the thumb crease right there, and that's when you're reading and well, I won't recreate it, but you know when you grab something like this and then you apply pressure and then you turn pages like that? And this appears to have continued throughout the book. So you can see it here. It continues on. So there's a clear thumb crease there. Now, we do have, clearly, and I'm going to hold it up like this so you can see it, some spine roll. See the spine roll there? See the curve around that's going? Because you can see that these staples have migrated to basically be in line with the front cover. So it is there. I'm not going to argue with that. You have some minor creases running down the side here. They do break color. I'll point that out right now. And you do have a broken color going down the entire spine as well. You have some blunting on the bottom corner and the top corner. Let's go to the back. I'm assuming the actual book itself is complete, and I'll only find that out when I read it. But you can see more creases along the top here. People always forget to look at the back of books. The back of the book is just as important as the front of the book. You've got wear coming down here, a spine crease right there, more creases along the bottom. This does break color. It's minor in nature, but it does break color. Let's look at the staples. So your staples, let's really zoom in on that. It looks like staple color to me, but I do see some minor discoloration up at the top. Right there at the top of the staple. Can you see it? You really don't see it on the staple. You see it on the surrounding paper. Is this fine? Well, that's a tough one. This presents very well as a fine book, if it's fine. My gut feel is it's slightly higher than fine. Hold on, let's take a look. Let's go back to the old book. Okay. All right. There's no spine split on it. Now, it doesn't mean there has to be a spine split for it to be fine, but there's nothing there. Let's go to fine plus. What do we got over here? This spine roll. Okay, slight or minor roll allowed. Yeah, I'm not. Some discoloration on the staples allowed. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I'm leaning towards, because if you look at this, because these are all examples of when you start going up in grade. They give you images in here, which I love. Corner flex, yeah, corner chip, yeah, I'll give you that. Corner chip, a braided corner, yeah, this is some colors, yeah, color in the staples. You're seeing the discoloration of the wear along that. That's pretty close to what we're seeing. I think we're probably slightly higher. I wouldn't say you're much higher than a fine, very fine. Yeah, I think you're a fine, very fine on this one. I think you're actually up a grade on this one from just fine. Now, is that a huge bump? No, not at all. Is it different? Well, it is different, but then again, this is a low-cost book that was sitting on eBay. I don't expect the reseller to sit here and go through all their low-cost stuff just line by line. But, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not a fine minus. Spine split up to 1/2 inch. Yeah, there's no rat shoe on this one. There's no discoloration of the book. I think we may have actually won out on this one. I think we might actually be a fine, very fine, but it's a moot point. But it does speak to the point of eBay. And really, sometimes you can win there. Sometimes you can lose there. Subjectively, I'm going to call this one maybe a 6.5 in my own record keeping just for my collection. I'm glad I have it. I think it's a fantastic book. I'm looking forward to sitting down and reading this because I will read this. I read all of my books. But, well, there you go. Did we get something that actually makes sense on eBay? In this case, I think we did. All right, let's get back over here and wrap this bad boy. I tell you, I had to go and refresh my coffee. I didn't want to make this a long, involved video. I wanted to make this one rather succinct. As succinct as I can because I'm an old man. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Coffee equal good. All right. What happened today? Well, we got this fancy book in from eBay. We opened it up and we walked through it. Really, I wanted to share with you guys the experience of opening an eBay book and how I generally will check these when they do come in, when I do buy on eBay. Once again, I'm being very clear. I rarely ever buy on eBay. I actually want to see books before I buy them. And I do take books out of bags and boards and check them because, as I mentioned when we did the review of this one, always check the back of the book. If it's a high value book, always go through the book because I got to tell you, Marvel value coupons, those are the bane of a lot of buyers out there. And I get it. I actually have, you're not going to believe this, in this drawer over here on the desk, and I know a lot of comic collectors are going to curse me out for this, I actually have some Marvel value coupons. I clipped them myself. Don't tell anybody, it's a secret. Okay. So for you heavy metal fans, I hope you enjoyed seeing this book. I'm glad I have this one. I have one more now. Well, actually, I think I have 4 more in total for heavy metal that I really want to get that are older issues. And then I'm just going to start picking away at, finding other stuff as I do get it. But these are the ones that I'm specifically willing to consider online buying for. Well, everybody, that's my interrupting video for the middle of this week. I think I actually made out okay on this one, which surprises me. I don't normally have that experience on eBay. Yeah. Well, there you go. We'll see you in the next video.